You know, is to horse racing what the Indianapolis 500 is to motor racing. The longest race on the biggest track. But instead of 200 laps, it's just one time around. However, that one time can seem an eternity to a horse who isn't up to the distance. This is almost unbelievable. Normally on the 5th of June, we'd have about 3.5 hours left of daylight here. It's dark, rainy, cold, windy. Not as bright as it appears on your television screen. Could be a good day, however, for Paul Mellon, the octogenarian owner of Sea Hero, the winner of the Kentucky Derby, who likes this kind of weather. There's Paul Mellon in the stands. Charles, he talked to the trainer, Mac Miller, just before the rain began.
Mac, before the Preakness, you and Jerry Bailey were both concerned Sea Hero wouldn't get hold of the racetrack, and your worst fears were confirmed. Now you're back here on a track that he's proven he can win over, but I think you'd like to see a little rain, wouldn't you?
The rain is very important to him, I think. He likes to go right to the bottom and gets good traction. And if we get some moisture, that's precisely what will happen. I look for a good race. I think being on the home court is important.
Well, he has won here, and he's also as suited for the 1.5 miles as any horse in the race. That's got to give you a lot of confidence.
Yes, he has a marvelous pedigree. Nothing but black type in 3 generations back. All of it, most of it's long, and that's really in my favor.
Also, he's done well physically. They say that since the 3 weeks from the Preakness that he's really sort of filled out and made up for what he lost through the Derby.
That's very true. The Preakness really knocked the dickens out of him. I think 2 weeks, 2 races in 14 days hurt. But he's come around awfully well now. He gets to graze twice a day, and he's really tearing the barn down.
All right, Mac Miller, best of luck with Sea Hero this afternoon. We go back to Jim McKay.
Thank you.
There they are, headed for the track for the Belmont Stakes. Now, the condition of the track has just been changed on the board from fast to good. Good, of course, is not as good as fast is. They say actually that it's a kind of a sticky consistency, very much the consistency that Sea Hero won on in the Champagne Stakes here as a 2-year-old last fall. Well, we'll see. The odds on him have been coming down steadily ever since the rain began. Prairie Bayou, of course, still a very difficult horse to bet against. First or second in all of his last 10 races, or silver of silver. Antrim Road there, the long shot. And Wild Gale, who was 3rd in the Kentucky Derby, bringing up the rear as they head out in the rain. Steady, almost horizontal at times. Just about as miserable a day for a horse race as you could imagine. But they run them when they're scheduled. And here is Tom Durkin.
Horses are entering the track for the 125th running of the Belmont Stakes.
All right, so the horses are on the track. Charlesy, we've been following some of these competitors since last March in Florida. It's been a long and rocky road. But we have other horses here today who are bright and fresh.
Well, the Triple Crown is a long, hard grind, and that's why the fresh horse always fares well in the Belmont. 8 of the last 14 Belmont winners did not run in the Kentucky Derby. And a perfect example of that one is Colonial Affair. He's made only 3 starts this year. This late developing Pleasant Colony colt was a sharp second in the Peter Pan, and he'll love this distance. Kissin Kris did run in the Derby, and he ran a decent race. Then he was freshened back home in Canada. He's a nervous sort of colt. He sometimes wears earmuffs to block crowd noise, and he's a late closer. Another stretch runner is Bull in the Heather, and he also skipped the Preakness, but he's better than the terrible race he ran in the Derby. He's bred to be at his best in this 1.5 mile distance, and he's going to like it a little wet, too. And Antrim Road is a newcomer making his first classic appearance. He won the Illinois Derby close to the pace, and he could press Cherokee Run early on.
Okay. Caught me with the glasses. It's time for the picks, I believe. No, you go first. You did pretty well in the Nassau County Handicap.
All right, I'll lay my skin on the line today. I think I like Virginia Rapids to pull an upset.
Well, I will take Paul Mellon to win his 3rd Belmont Stakes and his trainer Mac Miller to win his 1st with Sea Hero. He should like this surface very much.
He loves the weather.
Okay, well, now it's just about time for the post-parade. We might mention, though, that that's a custom that started in the Belmont Stakes here back in 1880. Before that, there was no such thing anywhere as a post-parade. Well, here is this year's. Number 1 is Cherokee Run. Lots of speed here. Didn't run in the Derby, but was 2nd in the Preakness. One of the favorites. Number 2, Virginia Rapids, was patiently nursed through the spring by giant-killing trainer Alan Jerkins. Now he appears as a local favorite here after his recent win in the Peter Pan. Number 3, Kissin Kris, not wearing the hood today, was second in the Arkansas Derby. A disappointment at Churchill Downs, may not be ready yet. Number 4, and here he comes, is Colonial Affair. Like Virginia Rapids, would like to join the likes of Coastal, Temperance Hill, Creme Fraiche, Go and Go, and AP Indy, who skipped the Derby and the Preakness to prepare for the Belmont and won. Number 5, the favorite, Prairie Bayou. What can you say except that he's the soul of consistency, the Preakness winner, second in the Derby, winner of 5 of his last 6, trying to join today the list of all-time great geldings. Number 6, Bull in the Heather, was one of the pre-Derby favorites, remember. He failed there, and in an allowance race on the grass here, he'll need a sudden turnaround. Likes this weather, though. Number 7 is the Maryland Invader, Raglan Road. He looked good winning the Sir Barton on Preakness Day at Pimlico. And today is the services of Lafitte Pinkai Jr., a 3-time winner of this race. El Bacan, number 8, has been scratched because of a fever. Number 9, INTHE, has only a maiden win in France to recommend him. A victory today would not speak well for the American-based horses he's running against. Let's look at number 10, Only Alpha, carrying all the hopes of the West Coast this year. But his record, like INTHE, he has only a maiden win, does not recommend it. Number 11 is the Kentucky Derby winner, Sea Hero. Didn't like the track at Pimlico, was an easy winner of the Champagne Stakes, as we mentioned, here at Belmont last fall on a similar track to today's, and this is his home track. Number 12, Silver of Silver, has suffered through illness and injury this spring, but his connections feel he's worth one more try in the Classics, and hence his presence here today. Here is number 13, Antrim Road, who won the Illinois Derby at odds of 26 to 1 last month. Now his owner takes a shot, however, at the best in the country. And rounding out the field is number 14, Wild Gale. Don't forget that he comes from behind, so that outside post shouldn't bother him too much. Remember, too, that he was a fast closing 3rd in the Kentucky Derby. So that's the field for the 125th running of the Belmont Stakes.
Is the trainer of Prairie Bayou, and here is a man who knows what it's like to be in a winner's circle. He was there in Baltimore last year when his Pine Bluff won the Preakness. He was there in Baltimore again this year with Prairie Bayou. Will he pay a visit to the winner's circle today? His horse is the favorite. And as the horses load, let's go up to Dave Johnson for the call.
And about half the field loaded, and Bull in the Heather ready to move into line. Once around this magnificent ribbon of dirt racetrack. All of them carry 126 pounds. They are all 3-year-olds. INTHE moving in now. I asked Jerry Bailey which of the Triple Crown races was the toughest to win, and he said the Belmont, because you had more time to make the stakes. He will be trying to duplicate that Kentucky Derby effort. He is being led to the gate right now by one of the assistant starters. Jerry Bailey, who's won 3 this afternoon already, looks for his 4th with the biggest race of the day. Crowd cheering. The track listed good. Silver of Silver is in. 2 left. Antrim Road with the blinkers and Richard Migliori, and Wild Gale with bad luck, who was 3rd in the Kentucky Derby, is in line. A gate full ready for the 3rd leg of racing's Triple Crown. Frank Calvarese will send them on their way, as he's been doing for 10 years. They're off in the Belmont Stakes, and Kissin Kris on the outside, but now Cherokee Run. And Bull in the Heather shows some early speed. Raglan Road is right there between horses. Sea Hero up close. Silver of Silver. Antrim Road on the extreme outside. Quick early speed. Antrim Road angles to the rail and takes the lead. And on the inside, that's Cherokee Run into 2nd position. And then a gap of a length and a half, and Bull in the Heather is racing 3rd. On the inside, Colonial Affair squeezed back a bit as Raglan Road begins to move up. But back on the front end, it's Antrim Road with Richard Migliori showing the way by 2.5 lengths, and the horse we thought was going to be in front, Cherokee Run, holds the 2nd spot. Along the outside, there goes Wild Gale, who is moving up quickly. And Sea Hero is asked for some speed and quickly responds. He is now 4th along the inside and looking for some racing room. Down the backstretch, Antrim Road leads it. Wild Gale is 2nd, and now Bailey takes Sea Hero to the outside. And there has been a problem. Prairie Bayou has thrown the rider. Prairie Bayou is riderless on the backstretch. Looks like he has broken a foot. Anyway, they go to the far turn. Antrim Road leads it. And Cherokee Run on the outside is in the second spot. And now there goes Silver of Silver, charging up third in the green cap on the outside at the rail. That's Wild Gale as Sea Hero drops back, and Colonial Affair with Julie Krone starts to move out in the middle of the racetrack. As they're midway on the turn, Cherokee Run on the outside takes the lead. Antrim Road at the rail is second. Along the outside, that's Silver of Silver. And Julie Krone now angles to the outside. From between horses, that's Wild Gale moving up. But now it's still Cherokee Run under a drive with Chris Antley in front. And now here comes Colonial Affair on the outside. At the rail, that's Wild Gale, followed by Silver of Silver. And now Colonial Affair with Julie Krone takes command and draws clear. It's Colonial Affair drawing clear in the Belmont with only a furlong to go. Colonial Affair leads at Kissin Kris with a late charge on the outside. Wild Gale at the rail and in the middle of the racetrack. Virginia Rapids, but in deep stretch it's going to be Colonial Affair winning it by 2 lengths. Kissin Kris second, followed by Wild Gale third. After that, it was Silver of Silver and Virginia Rapids. A marred Belmont Stakes in 2 minutes 29 and 4/5 seconds. The ambulance blinking on the backstretch. Prairie Bayou broke down apparently on the backstretch, but there's your winner, and it is the first time that a female rider has ever won a race of the Triple Crown Series. Colonial Affair. Mike Smith on the backstretch being taken into the ambulance, and of course Prairie Bayou, who went off the favorite at 5-2, lost all chance with trouble on the backstretch. The veterinarians are on their way right now. And there is your winner, Colonial Affair. Jim?
Well, Colonial Affair, the upset winner, but Julie Krone once again has become the first woman ever to win a Triple Crown race at age 29. Unofficially, she has ridden the winner of the Belmont Stakes, but remember that the inquiry sign has been posted. That means that the stewards themselves want to have a look at it, want to see what happened out there, no doubt in connection with the Prairie Bayou business. We're going to be getting an update as soon as we can on Prairie Bayou. There he is on the backstretch. But the woman of the moment is right there. 29-year-old Julie Krone. If you notice, by the way, that jockey Mike Smith was standing up on the backstretch, he appears to be okay. There he is. There he is. The rider of Prairie Bayou is okay. As the horse himself, we do not know. So happy little Julie heads for the winner's circle.
Woman to ever win a Triple Crown race. The ecstasy there, the agony of another breakdown. We had Union City, who had to be destroyed in the Preakness. Mike Smith jumped off Prairie Bayou. We attempted to get a word with Mike, but he has declined to be interviewed at the moment. Emotionally upset, but physically he appears to be all right. And as I'm joined by Dave Johnson, we have Prairie Bayou on the left here, isolated.
And it was well back in the pack. He's alongside INTHE, the horse who had never raced on dirt. And they were moving down the backstretch. I don't believe there was any problem with any other horse earlier in this afternoon. Mike Smith bailed off. And, of course, Prairie Bayou lost all chance.
All right, we have no report yet as to the condition of Prairie Bayou. We will be getting that shortly. Meanwhile, in terms of the inquiry, we are being told that it has to do simply with the incident on the backstretch involving Prairie Bayou. That was the original inquiry, and now there has been just posted a jockey's objection. So the first inquiry was a formality. The second one we'll get the details of shortly as you watch Julie Krone take Colonial Affair 13-1 home.
The stewards call for inquiries when there's ever a problem like there was with Prairie Bayou. The inquiry now, the objection, is concerning the second horse, Kissin Kris, which is now blinking. It's the third horse against the second horse. The rider of Wild Gale, Shane Sellers, has alleged interference against Kissin Kris, who came from far back with Jose Santos to get the runner-up spot. But Julie Krone was out of trouble. She had the best horse this afternoon, trained by Scotty Schulhofer.
So even though the results are not official, they will not take down the winner. So the blanket of carnations adorning the winner, Colonial Affair. And let's check in with Charles.
Well, it was ironical that Scotty Schulhofer had Sea Hero for Paul Mellon in Florida, and now Scotty Schulhofer winds up defeating Sea Hero here in the Belmont. It was a fresh horse who got the job done today. Jerry Bailey, the third Triple Crown race for Sea Hero. There was a point at which he moved up, and I thought he was really happy with his racetrack and would win.
Well, you know, Charles, usually you're worried if you have no horse. I was worried because I had too much horse going into the first turn. The position was fine with me, and he was in a good placement, but he was very rank, and he wasn't relaxing for me. And it concerned me a little bit. I didn't think he could get the entire mile and a half doing it that way.
And no traffic problems, though, other than that?
No, actually, no. I lost some ground in the first turn, but with the 11 posts, I expected to. But if he'd have just settled, I could have tucked in and been all right. But those things happen.
All right, Jerry, thank you. All the rain didn't help Sea Hero today. Al?
No, he'll just use the...
All right, Charles, let's get caught up on a couple of things here because there are a lot of pieces to this puzzle with the inquiry, with the jockey's objection, also the report on the breakdown of Prairie Bayou, a compound fracture of the left cannon bone. And again, as we take a look at the isolated replay, a scene that unfortunately we have to see again. And Tom Bohannon, even though he is a long way away from the backside and is looking at the race without the use of binoculars, he knows that there is a problem, and that was his reaction. Meanwhile, the flashing 3, because of the jockey's objection, for the moment the 4 remains up there. There is no change now. The flashing 3 is now a permanent 3. The word official will come up in a second, and we will be seeing the prices very shortly. And Colonial Affair will have won the Belmont at odds of 13-1. So the results are official. Colonial Affair is the winner, pays $29.80, $14.80, and $9.40. Kissin Kris finishes second, pays $11.20 and $7.20. Wild Gale, third in the Derby and now third in the Belmont, pays $14. The exacta, $463.60. And if you had the triple, baby, you're buying dinner tonight. $18,677. $229 and $4 over a track that started the day as fast and went off as good. Meanwhile, of all things, one of the stipulations in the Triple Crown Challenge is that a horse must start and finish all 3 races. So Prairie Bayou had the most points, but he didn't finish. Thus, Sea Hero wins the $1 million bonus with 10 points, and Wild Gale finishes with 6. A jockey's race, of course, as we talked about at the outset, and in particular, 2 sides of the coin here. First, put yourself in the shoes right now of Mike Smith after a situation like that.
Well, there's probably not a worse moment for a jockey than to be standing by a stricken horse, particularly one that's just given him so much in the past. On the other hand, you know, what a great moment for Julie Krone.
Yes, you've known her for a long time, and to think about winning a Triple Crown race is incredible.
Well, she's wanted to do it for a long time, and she's finally got the big one now.
She got it today. Okay, let us go right now to Jim McKay.
Okay, and we are here with the winners, all of them here. Quite a crowd, and Mrs. Moran over there, who owned Creme Fraiche, the only gelding to ever win this race. The spokesman on this occasion, however, is Donald Little. And to talk to him, here is Alan Dragone, the chairman of the board of the New York Racing Association. Alan, you're on.
Thank you. Don, congratulations on winning the 125th Belmont Stakes. It's my privilege to give to you the replica of the August Belmont Memorial Trophy. And your horse win a fantastic race. Your trainer did a superb job. And be with us a lot, I hope.
Well, we sure had a heck of a day today. There's no rain here in New York. The sun is shining. But I just want to say that Steve Carr and Paula Parsons and Scotty Schulhofer, Julie Krone, they're the people who really handle this for us. They did a fabulous job. And all the people we have that participated in this little partnership that we put together, it's been great fun, and we've had a great day today. And the sun is shining in the Big Apple.
Again, congratulations to all of you, and to Scotty Schulhofer, whom we'll have a word with, I think, in a minute, winning his first Belmont after his long, long career. Congratulations to Scotty. Of course, we'll be talking to Julie Krone, the first woman ever to win a Triple Rainy Dark Belmont. A happy occasion, however, for Julie Krone, the first woman to win a Triple Crown race. And here is Steve Torok, general manager of the Chrysler Plymouth division of the Chrysler Motor Company. Got a couple of keys in his hand.
Right, thanks, Jim. Julie, congratulations on just a terrific race under tough conditions. On behalf of Chrysler Corporation, all of our dealers.
Just a trophy, that's all. We'll get it.
I've got the keys to a brand new 1994 Chrysler LHS, and enjoy that ride too.
Thank you.
Well, you got them. What are you going to do with them?
Well, I'm not sure yet.
You're not sure yet?
Yes.
Okay, well, congratulations on that. But let's take a look from the far turn, Julie, at the Belmont Stakes. Try to enjoy every minute of it again. As they come down the stretch, tell me what you told me before.
Well, just about right here, I was very, very confident that I had a lot of horse, and I started to think to myself, boy, just about 10 or 11, 12 years ago today, I watched Stevie Cawthon win the third leg of the Triple Crown, and I looked at my mom and I said, Mom, I want to be a jockey. And
you thought about that right here?
Yes, sir. And then I turned for home and I said, and now I'm going to win the Belmont. And thanks to Centennial Farms and Scotty's wonderful job in conditioning of Colonial Affair, and also Colonial Affair, too.
What about right here? You told me you were what?
Well, right about here, I said, this is the longest stretch I've ever come down in my entire life. And it just seemed to keep getting longer and longer while I was in front. But luckily for me, he was a wonderful horse, and he just kept getting faster and faster.
And you let out a shout, and it was all over. You've done it.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations to you, Julie. It's been a long while since Bowie and the old Maryland races. You've come all the way. And there is another look at it, and there is a reaction of the winners. Don Little and all that crowd. So, I want you to go home, have a good dinner, enjoy it, and dream on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Let's go back to Al Michaels.
All right, Jim, and we regret to inform you, and what we feared is now going to come true, apparently, as the track officials have told us. The decision has been made by the veterinarians to put the horse Prairie Bayou, who broke down, to destroy the horse, and it's the second time this has now happened in the Triple Crown Series. So that is the intention of the veterinarians at this particular point, according to the track officials. And you think back over this Triple Crown Series, the emotional victory of Sea Hero in the Kentucky Derby in the faces of Mac Miller and Paul Mellon, and then the happiness and the joy of the Loblolly people with Tom Bohannon and John Ed Anthony as their Prairie Bayou won the Preakness. And then there's Julie Krone today. And on the flip side, unfortunately, in the Preakness, there's Wayne Lucas and Union City, and the fact that that horse had to be destroyed. And now today, Mike Smith, the jockey, he's fine, but the horse, a whole other story with Prairie Bayou. And of course, it's a total, complete opposite situation for the people of Loblolly. As usual in the sport of horse racing, you can count on the entire panoply of emotions to be covered top to bottom. Let's go back to Jim McKay.
And so ends, as we said, a bittersweet day in racing. Prairie Bayou, the favorite to win the Belmont Stakes, had to be destroyed. The winner, however, Colonial Affair, Julie Krone. As we said, that's about the story. There's nothing more to be said. This is Jim McKay at Belmont in the dark and the rain.